They insult you. They lie about you. They turn their backs when you need them most. And still you don't flinch. You don't erupt. You don't chase the drama, because your mind is trained. A trained mind doesn't run wild with every emotion. It doesn't collapse into chaos. It observes. It calculates. It stays still. In a world that constantly pokes and prods to get a reaction, the man who remains calm, completely unshaken, is the most powerful one in the room. This isn't weakness. It's command. It's precision. It's strength in its highest form. When the storm comes, when emotions flare and tension surges, will you be the one who breaks or the one who becomes the center of stillness, the eye of the storm? You're about to discover how to train your mind to hold its ground no matter what chaos surrounds it, how to rule your world by first mastering the one within. The greatest war you'll ever fight isn't out there. It's not in your workplace, your family, or your circumstances. It's inside your own head. The battlefield of the mind is where your destiny is shaped. If you can command your thoughts, you gain the ultimate advantage, the power to shape your reality. Inside you lies a force more powerful than any disaster, insult, or betrayal this world can throw at you. It's your ability to remain calm while everything else spins out of control. This is the trait that separates legends from the ordinary. Look at Thomas Edison. After thousands of failed experiments and then watching his entire lab burn to ashes at age 67, he didn't curse the sky or fall into despair. He turned to his son and said, "Go get your mother. She'll never see anything like this again." By morning, standing in the ruins, he said, "There's great value in disaster. All our mistakes are burned up. Thank God we can start anew." That's not luck. That's trained perspective. That's power rooted in calm. When you stay grounded while others spiral, the world begins to look different. You don't just survive challenges, you rise through them. A calm mind isn't a passive one. It's alert, focused, and sharp. It sees through the fog of panic to find solutions others miss. Your reality doesn't control your mind. Your mind controls your reality. That's the first and most critical shift. Mastering your mental state isn't a reaction to life. It's the engine that drives it. But how do you stay composed when everything feels like it's falling apart? You use the principle of controlled attention. When overwhelm hits, when emotions start to rise, you must intervene. Pause, take a breath, break the current of destructive thought, and then ask yourself the one question that pulls you back into power. What is the one constructive action I can take right now? That question transforms panic into progress. President Calvin Coolidge, known for his extraordinary composure, once said, "If you see 10 troubles coming down the road, you can be sure that 9 will run into the ditch before they reach you." Most of what we fear never happens, and even if it does, one focused action always outpowers 10 anxious thoughts. Andrew Carnegie knew this. In the face of financial disaster during the Panic of 1873, he didn't spiral into fear. He focused on the next step he could take, just one, and through that action, regained control. Your mind cannot hold fear and focused movement at the same time. Choose movement. Choose calm. Every time you act with intent, your anxiety dissolves. But staying calm once isn't enough. You must build your emotional fortress, your internal sanctuary, long before the storm comes. Like a castle built brick by brick, your emotional resilience is crafted through daily decisions, not last-minute desperation. This isn't about suppressing your feelings, it's about mastering them. Choosing which emotions you welcome and which you refuse to host. Helen Keller, born into a world of silence and darkness, didn't let her conditions define her. She chose to live with purpose, graduating with honors and inspiring millions. When asked about her journey, she said, "I long to do great and noble things, but it is my chief duty to accomplish humble tasks as though they were great and noble." That mindset, that daily choice to focus on what's possible, was the blueprint of her fortress. You start building yours by going on a mental diet. Just as you wouldn't fill your body with junk food, don't feed your mind thoughts that weaken you. Nourish it with stories of resilience, with ideas that expand your vision, with perspectives that focus on solutions, not problems. As you do this, you become less reactive, more stable. You stop living at the mercy of the world's chaos. You start responding from a place of inner strength. Your fortress needs a foundation, and that foundation is your definite purpose. Every great achiever has one. It's the compass that keeps them centered when the winds of life try to blow them off course. What is yours? What mission is so compelling that it can override your fears? With purpose in place, you begin building the walls, your habit of focused thinking. This isn't talent, it's a skill you train. Each morning decide your emotional intent. Will the world dictate your mood, or will you decide the tone of your day? That one choice, repeated daily, turns into a fortress no crisis can penetrate. Your perspective, the windows of your fortress must be kept clean. Look at Charles Schwab. In the middle of financial panic, he asked himself, what opportunity lies hidden in this difficulty? That question allowed him to see paths others overlooked. Your lens determines your reality. Clean it regularly, and guard the gate. Not everything deserves entry into your mind. Be vigilant about the books you read, the news you consume, the conversations you allow. Thomas Jefferson knew this when he said, "Nothing can now be believed which is seen in a newspaper." He chose wisely what would influence him. So must you. Within your fortress lies a garden gratitude. It's not sentimental fluff. It's a strategic tool. No negative emotion can coexist with genuine thankfulness. Even in moments of loss, there is something to be grateful for, your ability to begin again, your relationships, your growth. Gratitude grounds you when the winds blow hardest. And high above, in the watchtower, stands your awareness. This is where you spot toxic thoughts before they spread. When you notice fear, resentment, or doubt creeping in, redirect, not through fake positivity, but through deliberate, focused attention. You're not building this fortress to escape life. You're building it so you can face it fully anchored, clear and unshakable. But even the strongest fortress doesn't stand alone. The path to emotional mastery is not one you walk in isolation. You need a mastermind, a circle of support, a few trusted individuals committed to growth. Think Henry Ford. He didn't have elite academic credentials, but he had brilliant minds around him. They strengthened his resolve, refined his ideas, and reinforced his belief. When others mocked the Model T, his inner circle helped him stay focused. That's the power of shared vision. Find your circle. Identify at least 3 people whose discipline, insight, and balance you admire. Connect intentionally. Share your struggles. Celebrate your wins. Transformation flourishes in meaningful relationships. History proves it. No great achievement is ever built alone. Your emotional strength multiplies when you align with those who elevate your mind and spirit. You already have the blueprint. Now it's time to build. One thought at a time. One action at a time. Calm is not the absence of chaos. It's the presence of strength. Begin today. Train your mind. Rule your world. Most people never realize the greatest power they possess isn't external. It's internal. It's not the connections, credentials, or circumstances. It's not even their natural talent. It's their ability to shape the voice inside their own mind, to cultivate relationships that challenge and uplift them, and to master the space between stimulus and response. In that quiet space, often ignored, lies everything: growth, peace, and extraordinary success. We all crave connection, yet so often we settle for surface-level interactions that leave our deeper challenges untouched. But what if you intentionally surrounded yourself with individuals who shared your values and goals? Not people who judge, but those who offer insight without ego. People who will challenge you when you're drifting, remind you of your strengths when you've forgotten, and stand by you during setbacks without diminishing your struggles. These are the alliances that give us the courage to be honest, to be vulnerable, and to evolve. When you meet regularly with people who are also striving to grow, whether weekly or quarterly, online or in person, it's not about frequency, it's about consistency. With structure and purpose, casual conversations become powerful breakthroughs. These partnerships, rooted in reciprocity, become crucibles of transformation. You gain from others' wisdom as much as they gain from yours. During chaos, these trusted allies become your anchor. They see your potential when you can't, speak clarity when you're clouded by doubt, and reflect your greatness when you feel small. Over time, these mastermind relationships evolve. They start with a focus on goals, but deepen into support systems that touch every part of life. Technology makes it easier than ever to build these bonds across any distance, but the foundation stays the same. Trust, commitment, shared vision. When you find or build such a group, it doesn't just improve your results, it accelerates your emotional growth. It becomes a mirror and a map, showing you who you are and who you're becoming. But all of that external support is only part of the equation, because at the core of it all lies the most important conversation you'll ever have, the one you have with yourself. Your internal dialogue is the architect, art at your reality. Every thought, every phrase, every repeated word becomes a blueprint. When life gets hard, what do you whisper in the silence? Do you give in to fear or speak life into your circumstances? This isn't just optimism, it's strategy. Your mind will believe whatever it hears most often. The greatest achievers I've studied all share one thing. They mastered their internal language. Theodore Roosevelt, once a frail and sickly child, transformed himself through sheer mental discipline. "I am the captain of my soul," he declared, not as a boast, but as a belief he chose to install until it became reality. His body followed where his mind led. If you constantly tell yourself this is too much, your body and emotions will comply. But if you say, "I've overcome before and I will again," your mind activates its problem-solving machinery. Your subconscious doesn't judge. It simply accepts and obeys the messages it receives. That's why it's vital to choose your words with care. Like a prescription, they have the power to heal or to harm. Audit your self-talk. Replace defeatist phrases with ones that empower instead of "I can't handle this." Say, "This is tough, but I'm taking it step by step." Instead of "everything's falling apart," say, "I'm being invited to rise to a new level." Failure isn't caused by lack of ability. It's driven by mental patterns that sabotage your potential. Shift your focus, and you shift your future. Because ultimately, the words you choose shape your emotions, and your emotions shape your decisions. And when you control your emotional state, you control your life. Tell yourself you're tired, and you'll drag through the day. Tell yourself you're rising to the challenge, and your physiology follows. Speak with intention. Speak with purpose. Because the most radical transformation begins with the simplest shift, changing how you speak to yourself. This practice doesn't cost anything. It requires no permission, no title, no validation, just your willingness to take ownership of your thoughts. This is the great equalizer, the quiet superpower anyone can claim. And once you begin, the world around you will begin to reflect what you've been speaking within. Alongside that internal mastery comes another vital skill, the ability to respond deliberately, not react impulsively. Between every challenge and your reaction to it lies a space. In that space is the choice that defines you. Most people don't even notice it. They let emotions hijack reason, let impulses burn bridges. But you don't have to. You can train yourself to pause, to think, to respond with clarity and control. Abraham Lincoln did it in silence. When frustrated or betrayed, he'd write a letter filled with emotion, then lock it away ere to be sent. That act of restraint was his way of discharging emotion without causing damage. He knew instinctively what neuroscience confirms: the pause is power. Your brain is wired for quick reactions. It's an ancient survival tool. But we're not being chased by predators anymore. The threats we face today require wisdom, not reflexes. With each pause, each conscious choice, you rewire your brain. You create a pattern of leadership, of grace under fire. And the more you practice, the stronger this ability becomes. Start simple. When irritated, count to 10. Ask yourself, will this reaction move me closer to who I want to be? If not, choose differently. Over time, the space between trigger and reaction widens. You stop being controlled by emotion and start controlling the course of your life. The benefits ripple into every area. Relationships flourish, stress drops, decisions improve. You become the person others rely on in chaos, the calm in the storm. And the best part, it's not just for special people. It's a skill anyone can learn. Start today in small moments. Practice when the stakes are low, so you're ready when they're high. Because the irony of self-mastery is this: slowing down in the moment propels you faster toward your goals. Every pause builds momentum. Every thoughtful response builds character, and over time that becomes your superpower. So, start now. Speak life. Choose growth. Pause with purpose. Surround yourself with people who elevate you. Talk to yourself like your future depends on it, because it does. The most powerful changes begin not in the world around you, but in the world within you. Master that world, and you master your destiny. There is a power most people never fully claim, the power to choose calm over chaos, regardless of the storm outside. That ability, that sacred space between what happens to you and how you respond, holds the key to your freedom. In that space lies your power, and when you learn to master it, no situation can master you. It's not about pretending the world is peaceful. It's about building peace inside you so solid that even the wildest waves can't shake it. Yet many drift through life reactive, enslaved to circumstance. The smallest stress can unravel them, and they wonder why they feel so powerless. The truth is, calm isn't something that just appears. It's cultivated, it's trained, and one of the most overlooked paths to mastering your mind is through your body. Because your mind and body aren't separate entities, they are partners in the same mission. When your physical health is compromised, your mental clarity suffers. Exhaustion, inflammation, and poor nutrition silently sabotage your inner peace, making calm thinking nearly impossible, no matter how strong your will. John D. Rockefeller understood this connection. Despite building an empire and facing relentless pressure, he lived to 97. Why? Because when stress threatened his health, he didn't just push through, he changed. He prioritized daily walks, afternoon naps, and light activity, even at the peak of his empire's demands. This wasn't self-indulgence, it was strategy. It was recognizing that true mental resilience is built on a strong physical foundation. And today, science backs him up. Your nervous system is either primed for peace or wired for war, and your daily habits determine which. Just compare two professionals. One relies on 4 hours of sleep and stimulants to get by, while the other commits to rest, movement, and nourishment. The difference in clarity, emotional control, and performance isn't subtle, it's staggering. You can elevate your own baseline. Commit to 3 daily essentials: 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep, 30 minutes of movement that raises your heart rate, and strategic nutrition that fuels rather than frazzles. These are not luxuries. They're the foundation for anyone who wants to stay centered under pressure. The Stoics knew it. Epictetus said, "You cannot separate the health of the body from the peace of the mind." And the beauty of this approach, it's available to you now. No guru required. You can walk today. You can sleep better tonight. And with each day you honor your body, your mind will follow, becoming quieter, sharper, more responsive. And when stress does strike, you'll handle it, not with panic, but with poise. Because it's not the events of life that determine your peace. It's your perspective. Two people can live the same story and tell two very different tales. This is where your true power lies, in choosing what meaning you assign to the moment. Charles Schwab, who rose from manual labor to leading one of America's greatest corporations, didn't crumble during economic turmoil. He thrived, not because life spared him difficulty, but because he trained his mind to seek the favorable even in the worst of times. He didn't rage against misfortune. He searched for opportunity inside it. That mindset didn't just preserve his calm, it created his legacy. History is filled with such minds, people who learn that every setback carries within it a gift, often hidden beneath the surface. Train yourself to ask powerful questions. In 5 years, what will truly matter about this moment? What opportunity could be hiding in this difficulty? These shifts don't deny reality, they help you focus on what actually deserves your energy. You gain the ability to rise above the noise, to respond with vision instead of emotion. Those who develop this discipline don't just survive setbacks, they turn them into fuel. But don't wait for disaster to practice. Begin now. Monitor your thoughts. Replace blame with ownership, fear with curiosity, complaint with clarity. With time, this becomes second nature, and soon the storms that ask to knock you off course won't even break your stride. Still, even with perspective and physical strength, the mind can wander under pressure. That's where visualization becomes your secret weapon. Your brain doesn't know the difference between real and vividly imagined experience. which means you can train your nervous system to stay calm before chaos ever strikes. Bobby Jones, the legendary golfer, did this before every shot. He didn't just swing, he rehearsed the perfect trajectory in his mind first. That mental movie prepared his body to follow, and it works for anything. Conversations, presentations, high-stakes decisions. If you visualize yourself grounded, confident, and composed, your brain will follow the script you wrote in advance. The science confirms this. Visualizing activates the same neural pathways as actual experience. Athletes, performers, even CEOs use it to condition their state, and so can you. Just 5 minutes a day can make a massive difference. The key is detail. What do you see, hear, feel? Bring all your senses into it. Don't just think about calm, feel it. Practice during your morning routine or before bed, and you'll notice something incredible. When real life mirrors the situation you rehearsed, your body remembers. You respond with clarity because you've already been there. You trained for this. And in the moments that truly matter, when the room is tense, when emotions run high, when others freeze, you will not, because you've cultivated something rare: composure. Florence Nightingale didn't earn her legacy through titles. She earned it through calm in crisis. In the horrors of war-torn hospitals, she brought order. Her calm became a source of strength, not just for her, but for everyone around her. This is the real power of composure. It spreads, it leads, it stabilizes. In homes, teams, and communities, those who keep their center become the ones others instinctively follow. Your emotional steadiness becomes a signal that safety and clarity are possible, even here. And you never know who's watching. Children model your responses. Colleagues absorb your energy. Friends draw strength from your example. It's not your words that shape them. It's how you handle what it is you go through. That moment when the meeting goes off track, when plans fall apart, when tension rises, they watch, they learn. Your calm becomes their permission to find their own. This is the legacy you're creating. Not just what you accomplish, but how you move through challenge. It's not about being perfect, it's about practicing, one breath at a time, one decision at a time, one step closer to becoming the person who can walk through fire and not be burned by it. The storms will come, but you bring peace to the storm. Because the true mark of greatness isn't found in avoiding hardship. It's found in how you rise, how you steady others, and how your quiet strength becomes a lighthouse for anyone who's lost their way. This is what makes you powerful. This is what makes you unforgettable. Start now. Your legacy is waiting.